Woodruff here with another Falconry video. In this video I want to talk about some of the best ways to prepare yourself for training a golden eagle. Now, I'm here in the United States, and everywhere in the world laws are different regarding eagles. I've worked with a lot of eagles, bald and golden eagles, in the capacity of falconry, wildlife education. I've helped wildlife rehabilitators. I've trained non-releasable eagles, manned them on the fist trained them, hood trained them for rehabbers to then be shipped to other educational facilities. I've helped a couple of zoos get their eagle programs up and going. So I have a broad range of experience. That being said, things that I've noticed, I've noticed some trends that I want to share and noticed some things that help. But every eagle is different, every falconer is different. And there's a lot of different ways, a lot of different techniques that work around the world. I'm sharing you some thoughts that I think are invaluable, priceless for when you're getting into eagle training. But again, it's not the only way. But the first thing I want to kind of try to promote is the squashing of what I call eagle envy culture in the United States. So here in the U.S., it takes years of experience legally before you're allowed to work with an eagle. It takes a lot of red tape. You have to jump through a lot of hoops to be certified to work with an eagle. And then it takes, it seems practically an act of Congress to acquire an eagle to train. So understandably, because of that, a lot of people over the years who get eagles and are eagle trainers and hunt with them have sort of a, not everybody. And it's understandable. It's understandable that you'd be proud of the hard work and you paid off. There's nothing wrong with that. But unfortunately, it has kind of become a prestigious thing. Why I say that's unfortunate is because it's not that way in other countries. Many other countries, an eagle is just another falconry bird. I have a goshawk. I have an eagle. I have a Harris hawk. Where here in America, somebody shows up with an eagle and it's like, they brought an eagle. It's like, yes, I am an eagle trainer. Even though it takes a lot of hard work here to become an eagle falconer, I would hope that as work is being done right now to streamline the process of eagle falconry in the United States, I hope that that kind of hoity-toityness goes down. And I hope that we can just get out there, hawk our birds, and say, hey, an eagle is an amazing, serviceable, wonderful game hawk, no different than a goshawk or a Harris hawk. So if you have one, great, let's get out there and fly it, instead of it being something of prestige. I hope that's the case. I hope it goes that direction. So I'd like to kind of push for that way of thinking. Now, the laws when you're going to get an eagle require you to have experience with eagles or at least very large birds. And I believe the thinking is, wow, an eagle is this huge, powerful predator that could do a lot of damage. We want you to have as much big bird experience as possible before you start working with one. Now, there's wisdom in this. I understand the logic, but I think it's missing some of the main points. So, first of all, yes, as you're trying to get experience with big birds, go volunteer at a zoo or an aviary, go help with rehabbers, go work with a falconer who has an eagle. Those are all good things, handling an eagle in that way. But you have to remember what you're dealing with a trained bird. You're dealing with a bird that already has been manned. It's already been fish trained. It's already been hood trained, most likely. And if that's the case, there's a lot you're not understanding. But you are developing that skill. But how do I put it? The principles to learn how to handle a large bird are, in my opinion, simple. They're straightforward. Anybody can learn them. They're not that complex. So get some big bird experience or get some hands-on eagle experience. Great, you've got it. If you don't have it, if you've trained some red-tailed hawks along the way, then you have an eagle falconer kind of being a mentor with your eagle. You can learn those skills pretty quick. That being said, I'm more concerned about the mentality of an eagle, what's going on in their head. So when people ask me, hey, what's the best way to prepare? There's 3 birds that I think are good, and 2 are practically vital. I tell people you need to fly an imprint goshawk. It doesn't matter the gender. It's not about size. And a ferruginous hawk. Doesn't matter if it's imprint or passage. Those 2 birds, my experience, male and female golden eagles, the mind of a hunting eagle can be largely encapsulated in the mind of a ferruginous hawk and an imprint goshawk. So if you successfully hunted with those birds, you will have a good understanding of how to dance the dance of, oh, I can feed them on the fist. Oh, they're getting too aggressive on the fist. I need to lessen that. How to handle them around to kill. How to handle them around to lure. Those birds are priceless as far as what they will teach you. And again, I think that's more important to understanding the mind of an eagle than it is to I just think you do need to know how to handle a big bird, but that comes pretty quickly. Now, there's another bird that is, in my opinion, the best bird to teach you what it's like to man a golden eagle. Now, I do think anybody who wants to fly a golden eagle should fly an imprint goshawk and should fly a ferruginous hawk. This bird I'm going to mention, this third bird, you don't have to get to successfully fly an eagle. But if you fly one, you will know what it's like to man a golden eagle. And that is the chamber-raised, parent-raised gyr falcon, pure gyr falcon. Now, what you'll find with both gyrs and most eagles, regardless of their age or gender, golden eagles, and most chamber-raised gyrs, is when you are manning them, which is training them to sit on the fist, at first they're scared, Any bird is like, oh, what's this human? And they might bait, jump away, and they learn, they teach them to get up, or maybe you have to help them up. Gyrs and golden eagles up here are like, yeah, I can take you out. So instead of just a reaction of maybe fear, that fight or flight goes to both. And they're like, hey, I'm going to jump and fly away from this person, but I'm going to rip their face off while I'm at it. And they'll often lunge at you. Where usually if you're holding a bird and they're new, they might try to escape this way and learn to get up. So that's the first thing. Eagles and gyrs is they might lunge at you. And with an eagle from that far away, even with a gyr from that far away, that's intimidating. They can do some damage, even if you have their feet. You have to be prepared for that. If you're a seasoned falconer and you've trained tons of birds of prey, you're used to probably them jumping backwards this way or this way and getting up, or you help them up. And if that's your muscle memory, that's your routine, then you probably won't be prepared for that when you get an eagle and they're lunging at you most of the time. And again, that's not every eagle, but by and large, I've seen that trend with golden eagles and with gyr falcons. Now, the next thing that I see both with gyrs and golden eagles is they're so smart that as they start to jump, whether it's off of your glove or off of a perch, halfway through the jump, they feel the sensation of the jesses, and they're like, somebody's holding on to me. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. And they know that. They can sense that. Where most birds are just reacting. So you have a bird that jumps off, and halfway through, you're like, oh, I'm going to help him back up. I'm gonna just help him up. Halfway through, they will often turn towards you, feet out, before they've ever reached the end of the leash or the end of the jesses. This is another thing. If you're used to a bird jumping and having to help them up, whether it's from the front or the back, which it's rough to do with a gyr, and it's really rough to do with an eagle because it's like a bowling ball jumping off your arm. But if you're used to a certain way of doing it, you're probably not used to a bird instantly being aware, I am held on by jesses. So even if you don't go out and train a gyr, just be aware that's likely what you're going to be looking at, and they might turn around and come right back at you. Something I really respect about gyrs and eagles is that extra level of intelligence. So that's something very important that I think we can make that comparison with both gyrs and with eagles. Now, another thing, when you first start training, I do this with my gyrs, and I do this with all my eagles, biting. Now, bald eagles are nippers. Bald eagles, you're never going to stop a bald eagle fully from chomping. They're just like owls. I just want to bite. Golden eagles, their bite is powerful, of course, but I can control feet. A beak is always open and moving. I got to make sure that we have an understanding, the eagle and I, or the gyr falcon and I, hey, don't use that as a weapon. If you're mad at me, express it in a different way that isn't going to bite my finger off. So, both with gyrs and eagles, first week and a half of training, once they're doing good and like, yeah, I can sit on your fist, I could rip your face off, but I'm not going to. You respect me, I'll respect you. You get to that point, and then you come up and you're feeding them things, is when you put your hand up, they're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna bite you. And I will grab and I will pinch the beak and pull away. So they're pointing up, not this direction because they can lean, but up, they have to stretch their body. So go to the beak and give it a pinch and pull away like this. And you just pinch and slide up, pinch and slide up. And then for the next month and a half, every time I'm holding that gyr or that golden eagle, that is part of my exercises. Just gently, just stroke the beak, pull away. And they get to you, oh, this human isn't afraid of my beak. Okay, well, I guess that's not going to do any good. And they just kind of, and they stop thinking of that beak as a weapon to rip your face off. Now, again, I want to reiterate the fact that, first of all, every individual bird is an individual and is different. And also, I am not recommending that you get a gyr as preparation for training an eagle. I am saying that if you train a gyr, the manning process of a gyr will prepare you wonderfully for the manning process of a golden eagle. That's all I'm saying. But once you're actually flying and hunting them, their flight styles are so different that it's you're not gaining a lot eagle-wise by flying a gyr. But just the manning process of a chamber-raised gyr will prepare you really well. I am advocating that if you want to fly a golden eagle, that you fly successfully and hunt with an imprint goshawk and a ferruginous hawk of some, whether imprint or passage. I think that will prepare you to understand the mind of an eagle. Now, there's a piece of equipment I also want you to be prepared to use right off the bat if you're going to use an eagle, and that piece of equipment might seem very straightforward, but I want to show you some basics that have really saved me. Save my arm, save my back as much as possible, and I hope that it will be valuable for you. All right, so the piece of equipment I want to show you is actually just a stick, but stay with me on this. It's not everything. It's more than you might think. So when you got your eagle and you're holding him, first of all, you have to remember a couple things. The further you have that eagle out, the more that's going to throw off your back. And you might not think it's bad, but it's going to get really bad really fast. I know eagle falconers who have chronic injuries from that, where they just have wrist and back issues. So you want to get your eagle trained enough that you can hug them nice and close towards your center of gravity. On a female eagle, this is just a regular falconry glove. The difference of an eagle putting their foot here and here versus here and here makes all the difference in the world. So build that trust, build that relationship so the eagle feels safe with you, and have her, if it's female, perched there and there. Bring her close, get that center of gravity towards you. Now, if you're standing or walking around, you've seen this not just with eagles, but other birds, where people start to, oh, I'm getting really tired, and they'll put their hand and start bracing it this way, and next thing you know, they shift their weight over to one side and they're doing this, and it just looks really bad, and it's really bad for your back and your arm. Again, this is a large bird. So a stick is the first use. This has other uses. Again, stay with me on this. So your stick, pick a stick that'll work, and you want that level or a little higher than level, and you're walking around with it. You just put it there. You rest, you're fine. I put it just right there on my hand, and then you have something you can move around, you're good. That's the first use. But this is a hunting bird. This is a falconry eagle. This is not just an education bird. So a couple of things. When you're walking in the field, you can't have that under you. So what do? Couple things. This is great. This will amaze you how well it works when you try it out. It works with any bird too. So muscle groups, static muscle holding patterns like that, if you switch your muscle group in the field, it will feel as though you have support even though you don't. So you take your stick like this and you move it, and you push this arm this way and you push this fist this way hard, really hard. So you're walking like this, pushing inward, and there's no support under your arm, but it will give your bicep, your tricep a rest in a way that you will not believe. It will feel just like somebody is holding under your arm just by you pushing really hard this way, okay? Now, Oftentimes here in the West, when I'm hunting eagles, hunting rabbits, and I'm hunting on a hill. Now I might just let them go soar around, I might put them on top of the hill, but if I'm holding them while I'm walking on an incline, I'm looking down this way for rabbits, so is my eagle. But I want my eagle above me so when it takes off, its wings aren't hitting me in the face and it has a better vantage point. So here comes your trusty stick, okay? You pull it up and you push up your arm this way and you pull the whole stick into your chest like this. So you're looking down the hill, your eagle's up there and it's supported. Again, the pressure pulling into your chest, if you're fat, it helps even more because you push into your fat tummy. But doing that really makes a difference and gives a big vantage point. You can also do that on level ground if you're getting tired. Now, every eagle's different. What I've seen though, of course this serves as a brush stick, so you're beating the brush trying to flush out rabbits for your eagle. But if you're walking this way, you know, you're walking and your pole is moving along, some eagles that distracts them, some eagles that frightens them, or they're looking over this way and then they look back, and right as you move that, scares them. So here's what you want to do. Take your hold about right there, turn up under your back like this, and just keep it tucked in when you're not actually using the stick to beat the brush or to support your arm. This is a way that the eagle does not feel threatened. It doesn't feel like the stick is looming over it, and it just is tucked right underneath there. So the eagle stick, simple thing. Falconers all over the world use sticks for beating the brush and scaring up game anyways, but those are a couple of motions. Again, pulling in your chest this way, holding the eagle high on a hill, pushing in together to change up your muscle group, and holding it like this so that it's not swinging around scaring your eagle. I found that to be very valuable. So I want to do more videos on the actual training of eagles if there's interest in the community. But again, this video is more about what birds are the best birds to help you get started. And even though everybody is going to have a different opinion, my experience with the eagles I've trained, the best lessons I've learned that prepared me were imprint goshawks and ferruginous hawks. Well, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed learning a few things. And happy hawking. Hope you all have a wonderful day.